About 7:14. I've got sitting to my right tonight a good buddy and somebody that been on our show before many years ago, and a friend that is now with the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, a buddy Ryan Mozachek. He's
Appreciate you having me.
I'm glad you're here. District 5 supervisor, and he's supervising the likes of Monticello, and what other lakes you got down there?
Cane Creek, one of the largest stretches of the Arkansas River from lock number 5 all the way to Mississippi.
That must be very interesting.
Yeah, a lot of water to cover.
Well, when you think, well, you're not really covering the Arkansas River right now because it's covering you.
Yeah, maybe floating down it.
Yeah, no doubt. But we got a lot of rain today in places, but we still got a ton of water coming through the locks. We went down the other day and looked at Murray Lock and Dam. My wife and I did, and the water's just blowing through there. So I know that the fishing stuff Tuesday night tournaments, they hadn't been doing those for a while. We'll have a little report on the Tuesday night tournaments out at Lake Maumelle here in a little bit. We got Kramer.
Yes, sir.
Running the board tonight for Trey. I'm just, like I say, me and Ryan are here for, we got Beauty and then the Beast.
Yeah, I'm very, the thing about my wife is she didn't shiver when she touched my paw.
Oh, that's good.
It's a line from the movie.
Yeah, that's a good
Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, that is that, and that's true love.
It is, and I'm about 80% Sasquatch.
No doubt. No. You know who's 80% Sasquatch?
Well, it's the tallest guy in radio.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
The weather giant is not here tonight.
The Mount Everest of radio. He's on vacation. He won't be here. Well, he'll be here next week.
He will be. Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna have a good show tonight. We've got Philip Kastner. We got him holding. We'll have him on here in just a second. We've got fishing report, outdoor report. We got a lot of good things happening tonight. Why don't we go ahead and go to Philip Kastner on the Edwards Food Giant hotline right now?
Now, I've never been on this side of the studio.
Yep.
So.
I think you hit that middle one twice.
Nope.
Oh, you hung up on
it. Yeah, I'll get him back.
All right, no big deal. Just pot him up in there and we'll go. Okay. Yeah, but Philip, just be patient. He's calling you back. Ryan, I called you the other day, and we'll talk about this later in the show, but I called you the other day because I wanted to I went down to the Lake Conway meeting that was held, about 10 days ago, I think.
Yeah.
And we were talking about they're reconstructing Conway. That's pretty much what they're doing. They're refurbishing the lake, draining it. Of course, it's hard to drain it when you get a ton of rain.
Yeah, that place is a nightmare.
But, a lot of stuff going on, like the compaction of the soil and this, that, and the other. I want to talk a little bit about that later because Monticello, everybody's just heartbroken when they took that down. But, we're catching 7.5-pound bass out of there in year, 3 now? 4?
Yeah, the fish are 4 years old, the oldest ones. But, yeah, year 3. They started putting water back in it in 2021,
right.
The end of 21.
Well, we got Philip Kastner on the Edwards Food Giant hotline. You want to hit the fishing report for us there, Kramer?
Oh, Lord.
We got to pot you up
certainly
here.
Can.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
You tell me when to start.
It's time for the Trader Bill's Outdoors
go.
Fishing Report. With locations in Hot Springs and Little Rock, Trader Bill's is your one stop for all things outdoors.
Have at it, Philip. We got Philip Kastner from Trader Bill's on the Edwards Food Giant hotline, live from Hot Springs, Arkansas.
We do. So northern Arkansas is still ridiculous. You look at Bull Shoals and Greer's, all them lakes are still, 30 feet and, 8 feet above full pool. Central Arkansas is kind of getting down to somewhat normal. Ouachita is still at full pool. And, DeGray is sitting at, just for the first time, a little bit below full pool. It's, of all the times of the year in July for lakes to be at full pool levels, this is not normal. The big story, of course, is what's coming up this weekend, this Saturday, on Lake Ouachita out of Brady.
Surf and turf.
Surf and turf, that's what we're talking about. Trader Bill's got a huge promotion going on. We got music. We got demo rides of all Taiga towboats. Of course, Godfrey barges, Texas bass boats, any kind of boat you might want to ride in. Trader Bill's got them all sitting there in the gas dock at Brady. ready to go out on the lake and give you a ride of your life.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. It was a success last year. It'll be a success this year. I think there'll be a lot of folks looking forward to that. While you're down there with some of the other folks that work at Trader Bill's, I will be hanging out at Trader Bill's in Little Rock Friday and Saturday, kind of covering it for a few folks, Philip. So while y'all are having fun, I'll be out sweating.
Well, I hope you're not sweating.
Yeah. Well, I try not to break a sweat if I can.
They won't let him inside anymore.
Yeah,
You got to stand outside.
No doubt. No, I try not to break a sweat. But I was going to tell you something interesting in your report about the lakes, Philip. I was reading something on social media the other night, and they were talking about how high Bull Shoals is, and they said if anybody has any problems, and they're trying to get a towboat to them to tow them in, it may take longer because they can't get under a lot of the bridges.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah.
So
North Arkansas is a different creature, obviously.
Yes.
I mean, Texas, that's a different creature. We're talking about, not normal rainfall for this time of year. The good thing is Lake Ouachita, DeGray, this time of year are normally much, much lower.
Yep.
And with the lake levels where we're at right now, my goodness, there's a lot of good fishing and there's a lot of good skiing and family things that are going on right now.
No doubt. And, usually, and I don't know if you know that, I didn't know if you heard, but we've got Ryan Mozachek sitting here next to me in the studio. Of course, you and Ryan have worked together before when he was, before he went to work full-time for the Game and Fish. But tell Ryan and myself about the deals you got going on at Trader Bill's right now.
Huge selection of rods and reels, guys. We got rods and reels both on sale up to 25% off. Got a huge selection of boats. If you're looking for a boat, we have got a big selection of boats.
You do.
Both Godfrey barges, Taiga towboats, Texas bass boats, anything you might need for the still upcoming season, please stop by.
And you've just recently got your War Eagles in, and they're awesome looking. There's a center console out at Little Rock that is fabulous. If you hadn't seen that, they need to go out and look at it. But the other thing, Philip, I want to talk about real quick is your service department will go to people now.
Absolutely. Trader Bill's service department, we've got mechanics certified by not only Yamaha, Suzuki, and Mercury. Of course, anything you might need as far as accessories in the stores as well. But we do go do service calls on the lake. We go to all area lakes in both locations, and be glad to help anybody with anything there.
Well, Philip, we appreciate it. We will look forward to hearing from you next week. Hope the surf and turf goes well. And till next week, I'll talk to you then, Philip. Thanks a lot.
Guys.
That was Philip Kastner on the Edwards Food Giant Hotline. We're going to be back here in about 45 seconds with Ryan Mozachek. We're going to be talking about Lake Monticello. Just some of the stuff the District 5 fisheries biologist has to do to make a living. And we're going to talk big fish and what the potential is for Lake Conway. Because there's a lot of people that have really freaked out for a while. I think Nick Feltz is doing a heck of a job explaining that, like you've done a heck of a job doing what you're doing down there. So we'll talk about that. Trey Reid will be with us. He's coming in on the Edwards Food Giant Hotline in about 4 minutes and 8 seconds. So we'll see you back then on the wild side.
It's time to hit the lakes and rivers, but before you back that boat into the water, stop by Battery Outfitters in North Little Rock, because the boat ramp is a bad place to discover a dead battery. Jacob Johns and the crew will take care of you like family and make sure you're charged up and ready to roll before you make the first cast. Bad batteries take your fish finder out of the equation, and you can't stay on the fish if your trolling motor won't turn. So take charge of your fishing fortunes with a trip to Battery Outfitters, 5915 JFK Boulevard. I'm Trey Reid from the Wild Side on 103.7 The Buzz, and when I'm looking for a great home-cooked lunch on the fly, my go-to spot is the deli at my neighborhood Edwards Food Giant. There's always a great selection of delicious meats and vegetables, fresh from the kitchen and served with a smile by the friendly folks behind the deli counter. You'll get heaping portions with cornbread or a dinner roll and a drink to wash it down, all for under $9. For home cooking without the hassle of washing dishes, go see our friends at Edwards Food Giant. Spring and summer may be behind us, but that doesn't mean there's not a good reason to get out to Lake Maumelle to enjoy a day on the water. Trey Reid here from the Wild Side to tell you about West Rock Landing. Our friends at West Rock have everything you need to enjoy a day on the lake. Whether you're fishing for bass or crappie, or just taking in the amazing views of the Ouachita Mountains, West Rock offers bait, tackle, boat rentals, and so much more. Check them out at westrocklanding.com or go see them just a few miles west of Little Rock on Highway 10. West Rock Landing, your gateway to Lake Maumelle.
Summer is here, and so are soggy wands and muddy paw prints. Acadi's Touch Landscaping specializes in transforming outdoor spaces with refined solutions, drainage systems, retaining walls, and flower beds designed with ease of care in mind. Plus custom decks, fencing, and synthetic turf design to help clean up your kids' play areas and pet runs. Customize your space to enjoy year-round. Call Acadi's Touch Landscaping, 501-794-2770. Let Acadi's Touch turn your dirt into dreams.
Oh, hey.
Hey, thanks for meeting me here. It's just, you're my only lawyer friend, and I need your professional opinion. Do you see that brand new Hyundai Tucson out there? That's all I paid for it.
Let me get back to you on that.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on all Hyundai Palisade, Santa Fe, and Santa Fe hybrid models. And check out our other great deals at your Hyundai dealer today. Offer ends September 2nd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. The swan song of the Razorbacks in Omaha has some locals wondering if the Omahogs are cursed or jinxed. I can understand that. So close. But a few things to remember. Arkansas baseball is an elite program. DVH is a great coach. The team is consistently excellent and nationally respected. If the Hogs keep knocking on the door, it will eventually open. Like the Brooklyn Dodgers fans were fond of saying annually as they fell just short, wait till next year. Amen, brothers. Hog ball will never yield. While you're waiting for next year, how about some delicious ice cream from Doublebee's? We have the flavors you love that will help lower your core temperature. And ice cream is a lot more fun than eating ice chips. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at the D3 Auto Sales text line at 501-614-1037. D3 Auto Sales in Desart, the #1 independent dealer in the state, with the best prices and largest selection on pre-owned vehicles, including leveled and lifted trucks. Find them on Facebook. Whether it's football, baseball, or basketball, from high school to the pros, hit us up on the D3 Auto Sales text line.
Welcome back to the Wild Side on 103.7 The Buzz.
Well, welcome back to the Wild Side. I'm Mark Hedrick, sitting to my right.
Ryan Moserchek.
Yep. And we got Trey Reid coming in to us on the Edwards Food Giant hotline all the way down from Florida. Trey, you with us?
I'm with you, my man, but I'm not in Florida.
Okay, well, he's in points unknown, wherever you are.
I'm in Akumal, Mexico, my man.
Oh, that's kind of like where Florida is, isn't it? It's another big peninsula.
I mean,
It's a peninsula. It's a peninsula.
It is the Yucatan Peninsula, a little bit farther south.
Yeah. And a little bit.
Tropics, man. Tropic of Cancer.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, at least you're having fun. Me and Ryan are just sitting here living vicariously through you.
Oh, y'all were having a good time. Y'all were talking about great things in the Arkansas outdoors.
That's exactly right.
Ryan's going to talk all about some successes with lake renovations and great things that Game and Fish has got going on. So I'm sure y'all are having a great time too.
Yeah, I tell you what, Trey, when you get tired of vacationing, I can come put you to work over here in the fisheries division.
I tell you what, Ryan, just don't put me on the hatchery, my man.
I can do that.
Anywhere but the hatchery. You don't look good in hip boots. You just don't look good in hip boots.
Hey, as long as you can run a weed eater, you're good to go.
Well, tell me what you're doing down there on the Yucatan Peninsula.
Well, man, we are. I am here with the family right now. They're actually just having some dinner. We just cooked some camarones al mojo de ajo, which is shrimp
yeah, a
and
little
garlic sauce.
shrimp with garlic.
That's right, Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in Mexico, but I still got to bring my culinary game down here. We're having a good time. I'm spending a week with the family, and then going to be doing some fishing next week. But yeah, man, we've been doing doing a lot of snorkeling and checking out the aquatic life under the water there, and just having a big time, man.
Well, I can give you a little advice, Trey. While you're down in the tropics, you could get, anything from, a cut, a bruise that could, maybe, mosquitoes down there and stuff. Make sure you drink plenty of clear liquids.
Well, I'm doing my part, Mark. Plenty of water, and we are a tech savvy.
Yes, you are.
Radio show.
Tequila.
We're into tequila.
Yeah, that's right. That was the clear liquid he was referring to, I believe.
Yeah. Well, we've gone through about 1.5 liters so far. So
per person per day.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, have you fished at all? Really? Have you done any fishing down there?
Well, that's the crazy thing, Mark. Casey, my lovely bride, found this lovely accommodation on Half Moon Bay in Akumal, and it's a beautiful, beautiful area. A little closer to civilization than where I go down in Ishkalak on the southern part of the peninsula. But one thing we found out after we had made the reservation, paid all the deposits, is Half Moon Bay, where we are, is a marine protected area. So there's no angling of any type, not even catch and release here. But you know what? That's okay. I'm here to spend time with the family this week. We'll get plenty of fishing in next week. But no, I'm enjoying looking at fish through a mask as we swim around Half Moon Bay, and which is a really cool lagoon called Yalku, which in Mayan means fish nest. So that's like a spawning bed, right?
Yeah, nice.
Yalku, if anybody wants to refer to a spawning bed in Mayan.
That might be a trivia question.
You know the words.
That might be a trivia question when you come back.
I like it, man.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. But that's great. Got a little rain here today. So, maybe your yard got watered. Maybe mine did. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where it rained, but it rained some.
Well, speaking of rain, Mark, when we went to check out the Coba ruins, which was a huge Mayan city, kind of at a crossroads of many sock bays, which were the crushed limestone roads that the Maya built many centuries ago. And we get there, we kind of get to our destination, about a 2-kilometer walk back through there. And the Mayan god of rain and thunder, Chak, unleashed a thunderstorm.
Really? Really?
So we got a little bit of rain down here too. Yeah.
Are there any cenotes down there?
We went to a cenote today, Cenote Cristalano, and it was beautiful. Nice cold water coming up from that's groundwater coming up. They don't have a lot of surface water rivers here in the Yucatan. Most of the fresh water is underground, and those cenotes are amazing, man. But a great way to beat the heat. But I got to tell you, I've not felt like hot the whole. We've been in water a lot. Don't get me wrong, but it's actually a little bit cooler than it is back home.
Well, I watched some specials on. I'm not privileged enough, Trey, to head down to areas like that.
Yes, you are.
I've got to stay here and make sure this show goes. but
somebody's got to watch the fort.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
I do appreciate, man. I really appreciate.
Oh, we're having fun down here.
And while I'm gone, buddy.
I was glad to get Ryan in because I've been wanting to get him on, talk a little bit about Conway, talk a little bit about Monticello, compare the two. So I think that'll be a fun time when we get to that in the next few minutes. So tell us where you're going after this. We got about a minute and so.
Man, I'm headed down to Ishkalak. That's the place we've talked about it on the show a number of times.
Correct.
I go down there pretty much every year. Been coming down here for almost 20 years now, and that's where I'm headed. It's right down on the Belize border. Going to be chasing permit, maybe some tarpon. If I need to catch a bonefish to get another grand slam.
I knew you'd mention that.
If you make me, I will. Right?
Send pictures. We'll put them up on our page. And
I will, my friend.
And
I will for sure.
Well, Trey, listen, get back in there to your wife and family, and And I will talk to you. You'll probably be calling in next week around this time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, thanks again, Ryan. Good talking to you. Kramer, keep them straight, my friend.
I'll try.
See you, Trey.
See you, Trey.
See you guys.
That's Trey Reid coming in on the Edwards Food Giant hotline from somewhere on the Yucatan Peninsula.
Not at all Florida.
Not at all Florida. But I mean, if I'm going to be wrong, I want to be real wrong.
Like he didn't stop. He went to Florida and caught a boat.
Yeah, just paddled over, kayak. We'll be back in about 5 minutes on the wild side.
Trader Bill's Outdoors is the one-stop shop for all your fishing and boating needs. They carry Vexus bass boats, Godfrey pontoons, and Taiga surf, wake, and ski boats. Their marine department also features parts and accessories from most boat manufacturers. And if something goes wrong with your boat, their service department is ready to get you back in the game with quality repairs and friendly service. Trader Bill's Outdoors, 1530 Albert Pike in Hot Springs and 12006 I-30 Frontage Road in Little Rock, where great fishing and boating began.
I'm Mark Hedrick from the Wild Side. Let me tell you about Tammy Chase Insurance. Tammy Chase is a wealth of knowledge as she guides her clients through the sometimes confusing world of health insurance and Medicare coverage. I know because she's helped me understand my options and find the perfect fit for me. She'll do the same for you because every client benefits from her expertise and local market knowledge. Give her a call at 501-658-5127. Tammy Chase Insurance. She puts the I care in Medicare solutions.
All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros has been serving the community for more than 15 years. Locally owned and operated, we offer a wide range of name brand tires, wheels, and automotive service you can trust, so your dollars stay in our community. All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros, where customers are treated like family. Service like your daddy used to get. Visit in-store at one of our 2 locations or shop for tires and service online at allabouttireandbrake.com.
Shipments of spring and summer fashions are arriving at Bell & Sword. That means swimwear from Saks, Peter Noir golf wear and shirts, Johnny O's store within a store. Be sure to check out the Faraday line and Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. So hurry in for a great value on quality men's clothing at Bell & Sword for your spring and summer items. And you'll look fantastic. Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street in downtown Conway on Facebook and Instagram.
March is gone. The brackets are done. Feels like we need some excitement.
Are you kidding? Do you realize how much is going on? Basketball, hockey, baseball, golf. It's like 8 seasons in one. It's the season of action.
And we can bet on all those with the Oaklawn Sports app.
That's the spirit. Now let's go lock in some bets.
Receive a 10% profit boost on qualifying 3-leg parlays. Bet all summer long. Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
On your way to the Little Rock Airport this morning, you want secure parking and fast. At Expressway Airport Parking, our lot is well lighted and has 24-hour security. Only customers and employees can enter the gate. Your car and you are safe from thieves. And if you return to a dead battery or a flat tire, we're there to get you back on the road. Pay less than municipal airport parking at Expressway Airport Parking, left of the airport entrance next to the Comfort Inn.
Get ready, Arkansas! Amplify Fest is coming back August 8th and 9th in Benton. Don't miss an unforgettable weekend with live performances by Matthew West and Switchfoot, along with Lecrae and Maverick City Music. You'll also hear an uplifting message of hope from Nick Holmes. Performances by Charity Gale, Terrian, Gio, Jamie McDonald, plus America's Got Talent winner, illusionist Dustin Tabella. Fun for the whole family with an expanded kids zone and great food. Reserve your free tickets now at amplifyfest.org.
The Rock City Margarita Festival, presented by Oaklawn Hot Springs, is back and happening July 19th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the State House Convention Center in downtown Little Rock. Your ticket includes a tasting cup and margarita samples from some of the best bars and restaurants in the city. Get your tickets now at Stubbs.net. Come sip, sample, and celebrate summer at the most refreshing event of the season. The Rock City Margarita Festival, presented by Oaklawn Hot Springs and brought to you in part by Tito's Handmade Vodka.
The Wild Side Outdoor Report is brought to you by West Rock Landing, your gateway to fishing and fun on Lake Maumelle.
Well, I got the little bit of info on your Tuesday night tournament out at Lake Maumelle.
Okay.
Last Tuesday night, Matt Hedrick, Brandon Crane come in first, 15-66. A couple of our little park rangers, a couple of guys that are park rangers. Josh Jeffers and Aaron Presser came in with 14:31. Randy and Rick Sugg, who've been up there quite a bit in the top 3, 5, first in a couple of instances, 12:88. And we had Colin Heaton, with Big Bass of 6:03. So that was great. I want to also, in the outdoor report, just wish my daughter a happy birthday. Her birthday was last week, and I want to make sure I wished her a happy birthday.
Yeah, you're not going to sing to her?
No.
Okay.
No. And then, so I just wanted to wish Madison a happy birthday. And then this is from our buddy Devin Owen. He's probably taken off a little bit to get this to me today. You know, he's not, I guess, confirming truck and car deals right now. So he sent this to me. But the Monday Night Derby on Greason, Braden Taylor and J.C. Harmon win with a 23-20-pound sack of Lake Greason largemouth. What do you think about something like that?
That's good for Lake Greason.
Yeah. You
Really
fish
good.
Lake Greason?
I have a few times. Yeah.
This
Matt Baker's usually one to watch on Greason. So.
Oh yeah, and so is Josh Jeffers can catch them on Greason. He can catch them on the Gray as well. That voice you're hearing next to me is our buddy Ryan Mosachek, District 5 fisheries supervisor from down at Monticello. Tell us what's going on Monticello. Tell us what's going on in your district right now that excites you.
Well, at Monticello, if you can brave the heat and not pass out from dehydration, we got a few guys catching some good fish. It's not uncommon to hear sacks in the mid-20s.
Yeah.
A couple guys are catching some really nice, 5, 6, 7 pound fish right now.
You said something in the break a little while ago that kind of made my interest peak a little bit, which was a 2.5 pound crappie people are catching out of.
Yep, lots of 2.5
Still catch and release.
It's catch and release on all game fish.
What about brim? Same with brim?
Same with brim. Yeah, we've got some really nice red ear showing up.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I think everything in the lake's getting big. We've got some beautiful shad and red ear, and the only thing now we need is big snakes.
How big what?
Big snakes.
No
Everything
doubt.
would be big.
No doubt. Well, tell me about these Titan Max we've got in there right now.
They're still a little bit of a mystery. They're still growing. They were put in this summer.
Yep.
Well, actually last summer now. Time's flying.
Yep.
So they should be around 12, 13 inches now. We don't really have a way to distinguish between what we put in there and those Titan bass just yet.
You're going to be able to tell it one of these days when you check an otolith and you find a fish that weighs 10 pounds is 3.5 years old or 4
I hope
years
so.
old. Yeah,
that would be a good.
That'd be nice,
yeah.
wouldn't it?
And Conway's going to get those Titan Max bass too.
Yeah,
so,
I was wondering. Well, I asked about that the other night. I was hoping they would. One thing that's interesting is people were talking about, and I don't know if they did this on Monticello, but a lot of people were talking about how they're going to get all that dirt out of Conway. That's all the silt that's coming over the years. Well, one thing I found interesting is just compaction. Once the lake, once they get the dam started and get all that out and everything drains out, it sounds to me like basically the sun will do a job. It'll compact that dirt and tighten it up.
Yeah, they've got probes out there in the soil that they're monitoring the progress. And back before we got all this rain, I think we were looking at places of 6 to 12 inches is it's shrunk and compacted.
I'm sure that happened on Monticello as well.
It probably did. Monticello's
That's before your time when it was down.
That was before my time. Yeah,
Yep.
Monticello's got a lot more firm lake bed to it, so that's not as big of an issue. But every lake that you drain, that's going to probably happen.
Well, they did take it down 3 feet and held it to do a little work on the dam just recently, didn't they? Has that impacted the fishing at all?
No. They took it down a little bit, and it's basically where it was this time last year.
Okay.
You can still fish it, and really everybody's catching some good fish, and things seem to be moving along just fine. So,
well, give me an idea what a day in the life of the District 5 fisheries supervisor entails.
Well, that usually depends on the phone calls and text messages
Yep.
that come through on Friday night.
Oh,
That
is that
dictates
it?
how your next
Yeah.
week starts.
Yeah.
We wrapped up our spring sampling in April. Got to see a lot of big fish, and we're just checking on our fish populations around our district. Moving into this time, we just wrapped up bass stockings on the river, bass stockings on Lake Chico, and a couple of our other oxbow lakes.
y'all put some northerns in down there in the river, didn't you?
Yeah, pools 3, 4, and 5 we did northern strain. Pools 2 of the river and down in Dumas we did Florida strain.
Put quite a few in. I mean, 100 and something thousand.
111,000 in pool 2.
Yeah.
We put 250,000 in Chico.
Right.
So we've been doing that. Vegetation control is a big thing in our district. Boat ramps getting clogged up and canals clogged up, and farmers not happy. So.
Y'all had to do a lot with giant salvinia.
Luckily,
year before last, they had to spray for it, I think, or do something. And was it Lake?
That was Columbia.
Yeah, Columbia.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. Luckily, that's outside of my area, but hopefully we can keep salvinia out of our waters.
Talk a little bit about white oak. I see some guys that fish down at White Oak a lot. Mark Shatley. I don't know if you know Mark
knows how to catch them.
Yes, he does. He throws that little what's his bait called?
The truth.
Yeah. And I've got. Listen, he builds a bait, and it's the real deal.
So everything that you guys are talking about, I understand, but it's not the way my family fished and all our friends.
Yeah.
We had one lake we would go to, fish for one type of fish. And you try your best to master that, and you never think about any other type of fish.
Well, that's how my granddad did.
It's cheaper that way.
Yeah. We'd go to one lake and catch brim, one lake and catch crappie, one lake for bass, one lake throwing popping bugs for crappie, one lake. So we just hit different spots. He had 2 boats, one for, the flat bottom for shallow water, and 2 motors. One motor for shallow water he'd carry, and we put on a flat bottom, rent it, and then he had a V-hull Monarch that he had forever with a old Evinrude.
Yeah, the boat that I was talking about that off the air about my dad, it's just an old flat bottom. That was our Lake Conway boat.
Those are the best kind.
Yeah,
those are the best kind. But Mark can catch them, and they've been catching some giants down there, even in the hot sea. I like fishing in the hot summer, especially in the afternoon.
Lake Erling too has been hot this year.
You can catch fish, big crappie in Erling.
Yeah.
Stephen Tyson Jr. would fish Erling, Columbia, that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
so.
He's one to watch down there. And I've had a buddy, I won't say his name or where he was at, but he's been catching a few 9-pounders down in that part of the state.
Really?
Yep.
Really? Well, when you see 22, 23-pound sacks coming out of Greason, you're hearing about 20, 22-pound sacks coming out of DeGray. You've got in a little 4-hour tournament out here at Maumelle, and the lake's been down. All year pretty much for the last several months, and just now coming back. You're catching almost 16-pound sacks out of there.
It's good for this
fishing's
time of
good.
year. Yeah.
Fishing's good. And my deal is Mark makes this little deal called the Truth, Kramer, and it looks like a kind of a ribbed cross between a ribbed worm and almost a super fluke. And it has a little forked tail on it. You rig it up weedless, and you can just fish it like a fluke, or you can put a little I like throwing it with a 1/4 ounce or 3/8 ounce tungsten, slip sinker on it, and just swimming it real slow off the banks in the spring. Golly! So you can do about it right now. If you're fishing though, if you're going to go out to a lake right now and people want to know what to throw, what would you tell them to throw?
I would stick with the plastics.
Yeah.
This time of year you can't go wrong with a 10-inch worm.
Yeah.
Somewhere like Monticello where you got some dark water, red bug, June bug,
plum.
Yeah.
Black grape.
Can't go wrong with it.
And your dad's a good fisherman.
Yeah.
Now
he's taught me everything I know, but not everything he knows.
That's what I used to tell my son.
As all dads are.
Yep.
Yeah, we just.
Well, I feel sorry for my kids because they're getting dumbed down.
They're getting nothing. They're getting nothing. But if you listen, that's the great thing about fishing with kids. And I will tell you, I know your dad went through it with you. I went through it with Matt. I know you're going to go through it with your kids. But we used to go out and fish hula grubs quite a bit out at Maumelle back in 20-something years ago, 30 years ago.
We had a guy when I worked at Trader Bill's that every time we got a shipment of cotton candy ones, he would buy us out.
They're the best. I'm telling you, they're just good. But I would fish that tomato color, or I'd fish the green pumpkin red flake is what I like. And we'd go out there and I'd throw it and I'd hop it off the bottom. We'd catch all the Kentuckys we could carry and throw them back. But what he'd do, my son would do, I'm hopping them off the bottom and he's just swimming it. He's just throwing out and reeling it back like it would a spinnerbait, and he's out catching me. And what it does is by having no preconceived notions about how to fish a bait, they just throw it out and reel it back, and you learn from that.
Yep.
You want to let's come back in when we come back in after the break. We'll go straight to the let's do the trivia question, and we'll just have some fun. We'll talk a little bit more.
Audible.
Yeah, well, this is an audible. It's an on-field audible. This is. Yeah. Omaha.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll come back here in just a few minutes with our buddy Ryan Mozachek. We'll talk a little bit more about what he's doing, how he got into this. You know, that'd be something I think that a lot of guys out there that fish and they're wanting to continue doing things in the outdoors and giving back to the outdoors, which is exactly what these guys are doing.
Mm-hmm.
We need to just talk more to Ryan about that. So give us about 4 minutes and 10 seconds, and we'll be back on the wild side.
Mr. Phillips found old Johnny Cash.
All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros has been serving the community for more than 15 years. Locally owned and operated, we offer a wide range of name brand tires, wheels, and automotive service you can trust, so your dollars stay in our community. All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros, where customers are treated like family, service like your daddy used to get. Visit in store at one of our 2 locations or shop for tires and service online at allabouttireandbrake.com.
Mark Hedrick here from the Wild Side to tell you about our friends at West Rock Landing on Lake Maumelle. I've been fishing Maumelle for decades, and even though I've learned a few things about catching fish on the lake through the years, I've also learned that it all starts at West Rock Landing. If you're looking for a place to hold your next bass tournament, our friends at West Rock are ready to help you take care of the details. Their covered deck is perfect for weigh-ins. They can also set you up with a boat rental for a day of fishing or a day of just enjoying the views and the area's wildlife. Go see them today. West Rock Landing, your gateway to Lake Maumelle.
Trader Bill's Outdoors has the largest fishing tackle selection in the region, including the newest lures and the newest colors, as well as a wide selection of locally made lures that are proven winners on Arkansas lakes and streams. They also carry top-of-the-line rods and reels by the industry's leading companies, and they employ local anglers who are always prepared to answer your questions and set you on the path to success. Trader Bill's Outdoors, 1530 Albert Pike in Hot Springs and 12006 I-30 Frontage Road in Little Rock.
Going on at the Big Lot at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram on Alcoa Road in Benton.
How big are we talking here?
How about employee pricing plus?
Plus what?
Plus sales tax paid.
My sales tax too?
We've got the inventory. We've got the deals. You pay what we pay. Plus, get your sales tax paid at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram, Alcoa Road at I-30 in Benton.
This is Chris Roberts with Southern Bank. We see people seizing opportunities, building communities, and achieving their dreams right in their hometowns. That's why we provide services, resources, and tools that help you accomplish what you want, where you want. Whether you're starting out, starting over, or starting something new, we have account options designed to work for you and your goals. At Southern Bank, we know where you're coming from because we're from here too. To start your relationship with Southern Bank, visit one of our local branches or online at bankwithsouthern.com. Member FDIC.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. The world was saddened to hear of Air India flight AI-171 crashing shortly after takeoff, killing 241 passengers. Everyone on board except Kumar Ramesh, the sole survivor. He said, "I don't know how I survived. I thought I was going to die. But when I opened my eyes, I realized I was alive." It has been called a miracle in Seed 11A, a testimony to the resilience of the human spirit. Doublebees can help when you're in a hurry, where you can pay at the pump with your Exxon or Phillips 66 mobile apps at all of our 34 stores. Swing by Doublebees today, because Doublebees is where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebees. Seriously, Doublebees. See you there.
If you've ever stood overlooking a bluff on Pettigene, floated the Buffalo, taken a leisurely drive through miles of Delta farmland, or even witnessed a brilliant sunset from your own backyard, you know Arkansas is full of beauty. Naturally, that leaves no room for trash. Get litter out of the picture and keep Arkansas in its natural state, clean and green. Visit KeepArkansasBeautiful.com to learn more. A message from this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission.
I'm a real wild one, wild one, wild one, wild one.
It's time for this week's Keepers and Calls, presented by Battery Outfitters. Sometimes you keep them, sometimes you throw them back. But when it comes to your battery needs, the service and selection at Battery Outfitters are always keepers.
Well, I said we were going to do a trivia question. We're going to do this about a minute to go before the music starts. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll do the trivia question. But right now we're going to do the keepers and calls. And I wanted one keeper that I had, and I read about it and found it. A Florida couple was on a trip, and they're going through different states, and they heard on the Bobby Bones show about the Florida, or heard about the Crater of Diamond State Park in Murfreesboro. So they drove up here as bucket list kind of thing to do. They sifted through, I think he said, 3 screens of gravel and found a 3.6 carat white diamond.
I feel like I was ripped off. That is way less than I sifted through, and I found nothing but more rocks.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. So that's one of my keepers. Ryan, you got a keeper?
Yeah, so speaking of keepers, multiple keepers. This time of year when it gets really hot, a lot of guys aren't fishing all day. And so, take a half day of fishing, gives you more time to clean some fish at the end of your trip. And so, a lot of people on the water, it'd be a good idea this time of year. Water gets nice and hot. A lot of fish we turn back this time of year usually don't make it several hours to a couple days later. So, whether it's bass or crappie or hybrids or stripers or whatever, now would be a good time to fill the freezer.
Well, you catch those stripers and hybrids, they're living offshore. They're down there in those deep water. Right. And you catch one of those in 30, 40 feet of water. They may look lively and all that. You may let them go, but they may never make it back down to deep water.
Correct.
They may be too tired. And black bass, you catch a big old largemouth and jerk it up from 20, 25 feet. It's going to struggle. They can get barotrauma. I've seen their air bladders come completely out of their mouths. So, I'm not encouraging people to eat a 5 or 6 pound bass, but if you've got something, some nice fish in there, and just keep in mind that I don't care if they're a white bass, hybrid bass, striped bass, black bass, anything you're catching deep this time of year is going to struggle. So, take a look at some of them. If they don't look like they're going to make it, put it in the live box, take them home, knock the sides off of them. A good fish dinner never hurt anybody. So there's a little. That's something you can tell your kids.
Yep. So we've only caught and release, and each of them have only caught one because we're just new to getting back into fishing because my schedule is now allowing it, and there's nothing better than seeing your kid catch their first fish ever after a long day of nothing. Then it's the most exciting thing they've ever seen.
Well, the only thing better than that is when you clean it and they eat it.
And my wife's
that's what's cool.
My father-in-law is a big fisherman, but my wife's never been around when they get cleaned, and she's like, "Do you know?" I was like, "Yeah." The amount of times I have cleaned crappie with my papaw and get everything ready. I'm not 100% fry fish all the time. I like to grill. I like to blacken. Depends on what it is.
Blacken's the way to go.
I'm going to try to cook.
Yeah, you do. You blacken them and put them in some taco shells with a little.
Oh my gosh.
Little sweet slaw and hot sauce on them, and
that Blackstone gets a lot of work at my house.
Yeah, I got a Blackstone. I've got a. You have a Blackstone?
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm like a little redneck hibachi every for our breakfast for dinner and our fish.
I'm not that cool.
I think we've cooked inside the house probably 3 times in the last 4 months.
Now you're getting married, right? When are you getting married?
Yeah, in December.
Yeah. He's getting ready to be a taken man. He's gonna be married up.
Yeah, I don't fish as much as I used to. I spend more time now mowing the yard.
One thing that's great is one thing my wife told me when we had kids. She said, you can go fishing anytime you want as long as you take one of them with you. And so I'd take my daughter or my son. And we, my daughter, can catch the heck out of fish, and my son can catch the heck out of fish. And, my grandkids love to fish. So that's good. That's just something that you give back that was given to you. And it's a natural thing. If your dad used to take you fishing and your granddad used to take you fishing, it's just natural to want to get out there and do it. Because that feeling, when you know how it felt when you caught your first fish.
Yeah.
You know how he looked when you caught the first fish.
Both of my boys got their first tackle boxes for their birthdays this year.
Nice.
From my dad. And so it's our job to start filling them up. At your old job, actually, is we're going to go fishing. Go fishing. We're going to go shopping to fill it up.
Yeah. You think we need to go? How much time? Let's go ahead and do the trivia question.
Do I have a button to hit for the question?
It's the Tammy Chase trivia question. We got a button to hit.
Well, I don't see it. I see the break tip of the week. Oh, trivia question way down here.
Yeah.
As soon as possible one? I'm going to hit it and we'll see.
No, it's not the.
Nope.
No, it's.
I see it. It's over here. It's in. My shoulder was in the way.
It's time for this week's Tammy Chase Insurance Outdoor Trivia Question. You may not know the answer to this week's trivia question, but Tammy Chase has the answers for all your health insurance and Medicare needs. Tammy Chase Insurance. She puts the I care in Medicare solutions.
Now we're going to be guessing for a $10 gift certificate to Sonic.
Okay.
So, it's a nice little, all you got to do is call in and get the answers. What is it, 501-661-1037?
Mm-hmm.
So that's our number, 501-661-1037. Here's the trivia question. And if we don't pick it up instantly, we maybe wait to break, maybe. But what is the name of the largest diamond ever discovered in the United States? And when and where was it discovered?
That means I got to Goog. I'm going to be Googling that like immediately. That's
be
fine.
Some Googlers out there.
Hey, however you get that answer, you get that answer.
Yeah, but it's very interesting. One more time, what is the name of the largest diamond ever discovered in the U.S. and where was it discovered? And we're going to be playing for a gift certificate from Tammy Chase Insurance, who puts the I care,
which I need,
in Medicare.
Yeah, my glasses are in the other room.
Yeah. You'll need some. You'll need some one of these days if you make it this far.
And by the way, the $10 on Tuesdays when you get those, you can get the shakes for a special price because I have kids.
There you go.
Look, I know how to live.
So let's go ahead. We got somebody.
I'm gonna tell them I'm gonna put on my hold real quick.
Yeah. Let's talk before we go. How much time we got to break?
We got 1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute. When we come back out of the break, I want you to talk about some, and like I say, let's see, it was the guy that was before you that left, Chris Nault. Mm-hmm. He left and went back to the Ooper.
Yeah, went back to Michigan.
Yeah, went to the Ooper. The Ooper.
The Yopers as well.
Yeah.
Did I misread that all this time when I was a kid?
Ooper. He went to the Ooper.
Yeah.
Now Chris was famous for catching nice fish, but never telling you where he caught them or how he caught them. Mm-hmm. Tell me about some of your success stories when we come back out of the break. Tell me about some of your success stories and kind of some of the stuff you learned, and then tell us how you kind of got into this. Because that's what we want to do that after you can grab him on air, see what you can do. Let's just pot him up and go.
Hey, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, who is this?
Jim.
All right, Jim. We're ready for your answer, buddy.
You got it?
Yes, I hope so. I think it's called the Uncle Sam Diamond.
Okay, you got half of it right. Where was it found?
Crater Diamonds in Murfreesboro.
There you go.
Of course.
Man, I mean, the first caller came in and hit it. You know, that the Uncle Sam Diamond is discovered in 1924 in Murfreesboro. It was
40.23 carats.
Yeah, 4.023 carats cut into an emerald cut, and the final result was a 12.42 carat. I think they sold it for just a little over $100,000 to somebody. Probably be worth about $1 million today. Stay on the line. We're going to get Kramer to get all your info, and then we'll have Tammy Chase send you a gift certificate to Sonic.
And you knew that. You didn't Google it, right?
No, sir.
There you go. There you go. Stay with us, Jim. I appreciate it. That was awesome. On hold.
I do have him on hold.
All right. We'll be back in about 15 seconds for a couple of more segments of the Wild Side.
Navigating the world of health insurance coverage can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why Tammy Chase Insurance is here to help. Medicare coverage, health insurance, indemnity, life, dental, and vision. Tammy Chase and her team have the expertise and resources to help you figure out the plans and coverages that are right for you. Check them out on the web at TammyChaseInsurance.com or stop by in person at 8414 Counts Massey Road in North Little Rock. Tammy Chase puts the I care in Medicare solutions.
Hey folks, Mark Hedrick here to tell you about Battery Outfitters in North Little Rock. They're here to serve your battery needs, from cell phones to hearing aids to power tools. And when it comes to service, Battery Outfitters is second to none. Got a problem with your truck or your boat battery? Just pull in at 5915 JFK Boulevard and the Battery Outfitters crew will handle the rest. And don't forget to ask about Key Fob Friday and watch Battery Saturday. You'll be glad you did. Battery Outfitters, 501-537-4990 for all your battery needs. I'm Mark Hedrick from the Wild Side here on 103.7 The Buzz. You probably already know Edwards Food Giant as the meat people. And when I'm looking to throw a steak on the grill, my first stop is the incredible meat counter at Edwards Food Giant. Ribeyes, fillets, strips, T-bones, and porterhouses. Whatever your favorite cut, you'll find the best selection of certified Angus beef at Edwards Food Giant. Their prices are great, with weekly specials that will make your next steak dinner as affordable as it is tasty. Go see them today. Edwards Food Giant, the meat people.
On Friday, April 11th of this year, I finished my first year driving a GV70 from Genesis of Conway. So, what's the big deal? It's this. It's the Craig O'Neill Anniversary Sale at Genesis of Conway. To celebrate 1 year of driving the 2024 GV70, you're invited to come in and learn how you can get a 2025 for as low as $497 a month. Yes, $497 a month. Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury today.
You've waited long enough, y'all. Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union Summer Auto Loan Special is rolling full speed ahead, but I'm telling you, it ain't going to last much longer. Ultra low rates starting at 1.99%, no payments for 90 days, and up to 84 months to finance. New, used, or refinance 2023, 24, and 25 models all qualify. But the clock's ticking. This thing shuts down August 30th, so don't let it pass you by. Head to alcoacommunityfcu.org and step into the future with Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union, serving 15 counties in Central Arkansas.
Fellas, I got big news in the testosterone replacement therapy industry. That's right. Y'all know Low T Center. That's my spot. Well, guess what? They're introducing the Synergenics Health app. Bottom line, if you're having a hard time deciding where to go for testosterone replacement therapy, look no further. Low T is where you need to go. And not only is that where you need to go, the app, the Synergenics Health app, is a superior innovation in healthcare technology that you simply won't find anywhere else. With the app, you can book appointments, view lab results, have face-to-face visits, get medication reminders, order supplements. The list goes on and on. Guys, taking control of your health has never been easier. Heck, it's never been quicker. If you get in before 10 a.m., you can literally start treatments that very same day. With Low T Center, you have the ability to get TRT treatments in office or at home. However you choose, it's up to you. There's never been a better time to start TRT with Low T Center than right now. They're offering the test for free. Others charge hundreds of dollars. Low T Center, it's free. Download the Synergenics Health app today or book an appointment online at fixmylowt.com. Again, that's fixmylowt.com.
Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
Welcome back to the Wild Side on 103.7 The Buzz. It's the All About Tire and Brake tip of the week. All about tire and brake, because you deserve hassle-free service.
Well, real quickly tonight, a lot of people ask me, and I know they ask you, where can I take my kids to go fishing? It's hot. My kids want to fish. They're out of school. They want to go fishing somewhere. Well, you can always go get a guide. Find somebody that specializes in crappie, brim, bass. And, I've always said fish with somebody better than you, and you'll learn a lot by going with a guide,
Absolutely.
no question. But I think the go-to this time of year is go to agfc.com and check out the Family and Community Fishing Program page. They'll show you their stocked ponds, where they are, when they were stocked, what was stocked. They'll have all the info located on that page. Something in your area, your dad's area. You got Sunset Lake in Benton. That they had some info on that. You got Willistine and Valencia and Lake Maumelle. So you got lakes all over the state. Just go check out when they're stocked, what they're stocked with, and then plan accordingly. So that's my All About Tire and Brake tip of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Find your guide, or check out the agfc.com page and go to the community. Family and Community Fishing Program Stock Ponds page.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was across the entire state, but there's a place down in my neck of the woods, Baxter Land and Cattle, and they donate all of their broodstock catfish to us usually every year. And so they stock these 30, 40, 50-pound blue cats in some of these ponds for some of these people to catch.
I was talking to the new director the other night, and he was talking about some of those 40 and 50 pounders they put in the lake.
Yep. Nice surprise if somebody finds one.
Well, we've got about 5 minutes. I want you to just kind of tell me how you got into all this? Just tell me some things you want to talk about too. You've got 5 minutes. Just go.
Yeah, I mean, my career path started as a little kid. Wanting to be outside and didn't want a desk job, and wanted to play with fish. And I got older and got involved in competitive fishing, and that's where I got to meet some biologists with state agencies and tournament directors, and so that kicked off my college career at Arkansas Tech, and I got.
Y'all
my
had a heck of a
bachelor's.
team there.
Yeah, we did. Those were the good old days.
Yep.
And got into fisheries management there. Got a master's at UAPB in fisheries management. So to get a gig like this, it's a lot of schooling, a lot of education. But one of the good things is if you don't want to go through all that schooling, I've tried to get a lot of people out this year on the water, and so we've had some volunteers come out with me, and they've got to catch their first fish on an electric fishing boat.
Okay.
Don't touch the water while the electric. Do not put the fish back in the water while the electric's on. Do not do that.
Not.
Just thought I'd let you know.
But,
Thank you.
Seeing somebody catch their first fish with a net is almost as exciting as on a rod and reel. And so we've gotten high school kids, building fish habitat for their communities. People on electric fishing boats. Some of them never been on a boat before at all. So it gives them a good way to experience the outdoors and also see what we do for a living. So if you want to, get plugged in with Game and Fish, holler at your local regional office and, ask if there's any volunteer opportunities or, anything you can do to help make a difference.
To me, what the Game and Fish is doing now is they really are, building for the future. When you take a look at some of the lakes like Columbia, Monticello was a gem. I mean, it was just, it was probably one of the best lakes in this area for probably in the southern area, for a while. I saw my biggest bass come out of there. My buddy caught one that I know was over 13. It was giant. And then you got Conway being redone. Well, I got to fish Conway when it was hot. Back when I was, in my 8, 9, 7, 6 years old, I caught brim, crappie, bass on popping bugs, spinner baits. I still remember losing a monster fish coming over a log on a spinner bait and watch it jump off, and I knew there'd be another one somewhere else. I mean, you remember those things when you're a kid. And what Game and Fish is doing is they're really rebuilding these things for the future, for your kids and my grandkids and my son, and
Yeah, it hurt. It's kind of tough right now, to lose a place that's that special for just a couple of years. But, when this is all said and done and it's back to what it used to be and even better,
right,
hopefully after these renovations, it's a short-term, growing pain for another 20 years of fantastic fishing.
Yeah, and the lake, the things that I saw with how they're going to cut boat lanes and where they're going to put habitat and brush piles and spawning habitat and I mean it's incredible. I know what y'all did down at Monticello when they were doing. You were putting all that stuff, those pallets and trees and you've told me that a guy sat on a hump out there one day and was catching 5-pounders last year every throw just about.
Well, that was me.
Oh, that was you. Yeah, but every throw. Yeah. So that's what you have to look forward to. And if you're going to get somebody involved in fishing that's never fished before, I don't care if it's your wife, a guy that you work with, your son, your daughter, they got to be able to catch something.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than sitting in a boat. All the snacks are gone. You're pouring sweat, and they're going to bite, and everybody's ready to go home.
Well, I tell you, I'm the opposite. I can just cast all day long.
I can too,
and I can just zone out. It's a very therapeutic thing to do.
Yeah,
but I want to catch a fish.
I've got friends of mine. I got adult friends of mine that after about 30 minutes, they're ready to go home, watch football.
Go for a joyride in the boat.
Yeah, me and my youngest, we both sat out there for a good 35, 45 minutes, and he never once complained. We didn't catch nothing, and it was beautiful.
Well, Ryan, anything you'd like to say before we head out?
That's all I've got.
Man, I appreciate you being here. We need to get you on again soon when Monticello gets up and running. Kramer, I'll see you next week.
Yep.
Y'all join us next week. Trey will be out. Join me on the wild side next week, and we'll have some fun then. Thanks for joining us.
Will you partake of that last offered cup or disappear into the potter's ground when the man comes around?
the last bastion of quality programming.
Why would you listen to any other radio station than 103.7 The Buzz? KABZ, Little Rock.